put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. It is Monday, February the 23rd, 2026. We are into the last working week of February. It's good to be in the land of the living. I am your host, Akinlabi Holder, and I hope that you are up, you're ready to go. You've gotten the children ready, you sip your little orange peel tea or your coffee or whatever have you, and you have that energy to tackle the work week ahead and be very, very productive. I'm joined in the studio by my lovely, and for the third time, very lovely co-host, Renessa Ortiz. Good morning, Renessa.
Good morning to you, Akinlabi. Good morning to all viewers. Thank you for joining in again at Tobago Updates Morning Show. We have some interesting stories lined up for them this morning, and we hope you had a pleasant weekend and that we're wishing you a good week going forward.
Yes, viewers, like I said before, we're in the last work week of February. The year is starting to turn over pretty quickly once the 12 years of January come to an end. the year starts to turn over pretty quickly. A number of interesting things happening over the weekend. We saw the Chief Secretary having his media conference yesterday and made a number of announcements. Before we get into any of those conversations though, we want to head on over to our news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Akinlabi. History in the making for Tobago's autonomy. $1 million move for PAN and a firm deadline for the Sea Bridge. Your news in 90 seconds starts now for Monday, February 23rd, 2026. East Tobago commuters, take note. A brand new first of its kind in Tobago privately funded transit lounge will be officially open today at 4 p.m. on Gardenside Street for public use. Built by Touch Tobago Live, the facility offers air conditioning, free Wi-Fi, and digital schedules for those heading to Charlottesville, Speyside, Bloody Bay, and Castara, and other North Tobago destinations. The THA has promised rigorous upkeep and security for this new transit lounge. Congratulations are pouring in for Tobago's Steel Pan fraternity. Following a stellar Panorama 2026, the Executive Council has kept their promise from last year and have rewarded legendary arrangers Devon Stewart, Kirsch Ramsey, and O.J. Richards with land grants for their contributions. Meanwhile, Uptown Fascinators begin moving into their new $1.5 million privately funded home in Smithfield yesterday. Local Tobago companies are now being challenged to step up and sponsor Indigenous Tobago steel pan orchestras. Finally, the cargo vessel Blue Wave Harmony enters full commercial service on March 1st. The Chief Secretary apologized for recent communication gaps and acknowledged that the public's patience is wearing thin. The vessel has been licensed for 1 year, which will be enough time for a permanent sea bridge solution to be found before the vessel's contract ends in January 2027. Tune in again at 6:30 p.m. for a full newscast, and that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Renessa, for that news in 90 seconds. And on the heels of Carnival, it's really interesting, really nice to hear that announcement of the land grants for those persons in the PAN fraternity, for those three arrangers that have been doing Tobago so proud over the last about 10 years, I should say. If we're going back to when Devon, really started coming to the forefront, perhaps more than 10 years. But then OJ and Kirsch came into the spotlight somewhere around 2020, and have been doing very, very well for Tobago, representing Tobago well. We see the successes of bands like Uptown Fascinators, Tiantec New Eastside Dimension, Cats and Jammers on the national stage as well over the last few years, and it's something to take note of, and I'm glad that they made this move.
Initiative to give them the land grant, because you would extend yourself in a way for the advancement of your country and to be recognized by the government in such a way to be given a land grant. I think that's really commendable, and it goes to show the work and the efforts of the young men who have been putting themselves out there to ensure that they represent Tobago in a manner that is stellar.
Yes, and also we see fan fascinators, uptown fascinators I should say, uptown fascinators finally moving into their new home there at Smithfield. It's really good to see. You know, I know persons were passing by and seeing the building. Some persons asking where they moved to in Scarborough, and then they passed the building and it's like, oh, it's right here. You know, so I'm very excited.
Some good news
for that.
coming out of Tobago.
So very good news coming out of Tobago. On the more unfortunate side, we see the situation with the cargo vessel. It continues, and Chief Secretary taking some time off yesterday to acknowledge the frustrations building in Tobago concerning the issue. Very reminiscent of 2017 when we had another prolonged period of cargo issues with the cargo vessel on the sea bridge. And you know, we're glad to see that he has also taken steps to do a study on the losses that businesses would have had and look towards compensating those businesses to help them keep afloat, because some businesses might not be able to survive this crisis and they might close down. And that's not good for Tobago's economy. And so it's really good that the THA is stepping up to see how they can compensate those businesses to keep them afloat and to also help keep Tobago's economy at the level at where it is right now.
Because also in the social media space, we were seeing persons saying, why aren't Tobagonians crying out louder, asking for, so to see him come out on the press conference and really apologize for the communication gap and come out with some solutions that are underway for the situation. I know that there are a lot of persons who are very concerned because some of the things that are running out are very critical and crucial to us here in Tobago.
Yes.
And having to rely solely on Trinidad for some of these things, especially when we're talking about autonomy, it really sends a signal.
Yeah. Yes, and I know that always comes up every time we have an issue with either the fast ferry cargo vessel or the air bridge. The issue of autonomy and self-sufficiency always comes up, and it has reared its head again. And we see that the Chief Secretary will have addressed that issue as well yesterday, saying that they're going to do some studies in terms of developing a manufacturing sector in Tobago, addressing the issues at Cove, looking at our agriculture and what we can do to feed ourselves here on the island. So sometimes, you know, they say something has to happen for something to happen. It's unfortunate that this has to happen.
But the question is, this has been happening for a while now.
This has been happening. It's a recurrent thing, and I don't.
We are wondering if this time there would actually be any effective change.
Well, he called for a permanent resolution to the issue. I don't know if there can be a permanent resolution to this issue. I think as long as there is using machinery and traveling back and forth, there's going to be some time down the line where things may go wrong. So in terms of it never ever happening again, I don't think that's possible. But I think we can, as a country, put systems in place to mitigate this kind of thing so that we don't have weeks and weeks and months of problems ongoing. So we wait to see what will happen. We know that some persons on the other side of the political opponents of the TPP, you know, they're noting that they find that Tobagonians are too silent. Yes, they find Tobagonians are too quiet. But then, you know, given that Tobagonians were very vocal in 2017, I can't say why Tobagonians are so quiet this time around. But you know, Tobagonians have very long patience, a very long suffering. So hopefully we can get this thing rectified. They promised that by the 1st of March the ship should be up and running and bring some relief to the business community here in Tobago. All right, viewers, it's time to celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for birthday shout-outs. Yes, and at Tobago Updates, we want to celebrate with you. Whatever you're celebrating, and we start today's celebrations off by saying happy birthday to Senior Superintendent Rodel Kirk. Actually, this is a happy belated birthday to you, Senior Sup Kirk. God's richest blessings. I know you would have celebrated well. I know your loved ones would have treated you very, very good. I know that for a fact. They treat you good over the weekend. God's richest blessings. We know that you keep him close in your heart, and we pray that in this upcoming year you keep him in everything you do moving forward.
Happy belated birthday to Assembly Member Trevor James. I know that you had a wonderful weekend. I know that you enjoyed it with your family. It was spent with lots of love, laughter, and just being in the presence of those who cherish and appreciate you, wishing you a prosperous year ahead and all the strength needed to take charge of all your duties here on the island of Tobago.
We continue with the belated greetings and we say happy belated birthday to Miss Roxanne Phillips Duke. Happy birthday to you, Miss Phillips Duke. God with us blessings. We know that you had fun and we know that you took some time off to reflect on the goodness of God in your life. We pray that you keep Him with you moving forward and everything that you set your heart to, you will succeed.
Happy birthday to Tevin Marcel from us here at the Tobago Updates family. Feel free to drop off some cake and ice cream. We would appreciate it greatly. I hope that today is filled with lots of joy, that it is spent with those who really appreciate and cherish you, that you will take this time to reflect on God's blessings on your life, as Akilabi likes to say.
I love to say it.
And that you have a prosperous and bright year ahead.
Happy birthday to Miss Crystal Phillips. Happy birthday, Miss Phillips. We know that you're celebrating good today. I mean, you just missed the carnival celebrations, but you know that means that you cannot celebrate. And be safe. You'll be surrounded with friends and family, and they're going to show you a good time. I know they're going to show you with all the best of gifts and the blessings. Happy birthday to you.
Now, Akinabi, you know, you so butcher this name. It's Jumani.
Yes, Jumani, Juby Cox.
Happy birthday to you, our Tobago soca artist. The elevator only going in one direction. Happy birthday, and we're wishing you a bright and prosperous year ahead, filled with more successes, more opportunities to be on the stage, and that you continue to develop in your craft, and that you'd spend today happy, joyful, cheerful, all the good things. Happy birthday from us here at Tobago Updates.
Yes, Juby, my brother, I want to tell you happy birthday. I know you had a bumper carnival season. We're happy for your success and we pray more success for you in the future to come. Viewers, whatever you're celebrating, we want to celebrate with you, whether it's a birthday, an anniversary, or graduation, you buy a new house, you start a new business, you sold a business, you close a deal, you got a promotion, whatever you are celebrating, send your information to us, and Tobago, Trinidad, the region, and the wider world will celebrate with you right here on Tobago Updates. So, Vanessa, who do we have on the program this morning?
This morning we have a two-part segment with Acting Inspector of the CID, Andy Mohammed, and we're talking about TTPS crime updates as well as teenagers and crime. I know that's something that's very hot in the society today, not just in Tobago, but in our world at large. And we're just going to be going into that a bit this morning. And after that, we're going to be speaking with Nisha Agostini. This is a producer. And we're talking about Carnival Film Screening 2026.
All right, so quite an interesting lineup of conversations. We're going to have a bit serious on the TTPS side, and then we lighten things up with talking about about the creative industry, Carnival Film Screening for 2026. Viewers, we want to thank you for staying with us, whether it's on our Facebook Live or YouTube channel. 102 on AMPLIA, 121 and 130 on Flow, or 33 on Digital, whether you're in Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean, or the wider world. We want to thank you for making Tobago Updates Tobago's #1 television station. But we want you to do us a favor, as usual. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Coming up, fetes, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salad. salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, and we have in studio with us Mr. Andy Mahatman, who is the acting inspector of the CID department in the TTPS, and he's here to talk to us about the TTPS crime updates as well as teenagers and crime. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
Okay, so we really want to get started with the crime updates on the island. We know Carnival would have recently gone. We don't know if there were any incidents over that festive period.
Yes, well, I'm pleased to update you and Tobago public that we had a crime-free Tobago Carnival. Now, we did have some incidents in the sense that we had a fatality on Monday morning, but it's not Carnival related. This is something that involved a motorcyclist and a motor vehicle. This investigation is continuing by the Crown Point Police, and we are actively pursuing all investigative tools so that we could bring this matter to some closure. Apart from that, we had carnivals kicked off in Crown Point. It was incident-free. We saw a lot of persons enjoying the carnival, although we had minor incidents where we had to speak to people about having bottles in the celebrations. They were very compliant with us. We continued into Monday afternoon in Roxborough. It was incident-free. Then we went to Calder Hall on Tuesday morning, and this also was incident-free. In the afternoon, we had Juve in Roxborough. We had one minor incident where there was a stabbing. 2 persons were injured. The suspect in this matter, he was arrested. This investigation is ongoing, and we hope to bring some closure to this matter soon. There was one incident that was circulating on social media. But this is not. This was not carnival related. This matter was investigated by the officers from the Sheriff Criminal Investigations Department, and we brought closure to this matter. Apart from that, we had 3 incidents of house break-ins and larcenies, one in Charlottesville, one in Scarborough, and one in Crown Point. These matters are ongoing, and we had no arrests, but we have very good information that we are working with. Hopefully we can bring some resolution to these investigations soon. Apart from that, the week was okay. We want to thank the public for their support in listening to the advice that was given, both by the TTPS and by you all, for incident-free carnival. And we want to say thank you to all the persons, the planners, all the persons who participated in the carnival celebration. So thank you to the general public of Tobago.
Well, that's some good news that we're hearing, that Tobago over the carnival there wasn't any major incidents to be reported or any occurrences of any serious crimes per se. But we want to thank you, the police, as well, for your continued work and your effort on the island of Tobago. Now, I know this morning we're talking about the crime updates, but now we're going to head into teenagers and crime. Now, based on recent TTPS data, are we seeing an increase in teenage activity, in criminal activities, or is it that now it's being more visible in the public that teenagers are actively being involved in crime?
Well, the data would suggest that no, there's no increase in teenagers' involvement in crimes. However, there are incidents where we arrested some teenagers for breaking offenses in different areas. These matters engage the court. We have teenagers from as young as 12 years old who are suspects in crime. So we realized that we had to make an intervention, with teenagers. So we have adopted the principles where we have officers from the different divisions visiting the schools. We have community police involved in also visiting the schools. And up till recently, coming from Christmas into Carnival, we had Festive Shield. We have Part 1 and Part 2. So we had officers visiting different schools and bringing some awareness about the dangers of marijuana or using narcotics. And the kids were very receptive, in our delivery, and we're hoping that we could have some improvement, in how the kids deal with different types of pressure they are under, the family, be it school, and the general public. So we hope that we have some improvement in these measures that we have undertaken.
So just kind of give us an insight into what are some of the factors that lead these children to become violent or get involved in crimes, whether it's spur of the moment crime or organized crime?
Well, there are different elements that we could consider. One being peer pressure and a desire to belong to society. And this is something all of us went through as children growing up. And what we have to understand is that we have to be consistent in what we do with children, from every person, every institution, from the family, because there's pressure in the family, to get good grades, to be obedient, to be someone in society. So we have to follow this from the beginning, from the home to the school, and whatever intervention each institution can bring, we could shape the minds of the children so they'll be able to make the right decision at the right time.
Now, that's a very interesting take on it, because there are parents who would say, I have raised my child, I have instilled in them the values, but for some reason they are still being led outside of their norms or what is being taught at home. Do you think some of these things are because of older criminals recruiting our young people within some of these, as we call them, crime circles?
Well, to some extent, yes, I would say so. But we need to monitor our children's movement, especially in the nighttime. But most of the times, when we're out there as police officers on patrol, we will see children outside, maybe on 8 o'clock, when they're expected to be home. So we're just asking parents to check on their children, make sure they're in bed, monitor their children. We can't be there all the time, but at least show some consistency in monitoring your children, so that they wouldn't fall prey to the I wouldn't say gang leaders, but the negative influences that we have out there, right? We have different things that happen in the night. We have persons engaged in gambling. When we go to these areas and patrol these areas, we see children, right? We see children there. And most of those areas that we go to and they have gambling or other activities, there are savannas there. Why children are not involved in sports? So we have to come together as people, police service, everyone has to get involved to see how we can influence the minds of the children, rather than we leave the street to grow the child.
Now, I know you said that there wasn't any significant increase in children being involved in crime, but as it is now, is the number of children you see involved in criminal activity on the island of Tobago alarming?
No, it's not alarming, but every incident is reason to be alarmed about. Because one child being involved in criminal activity or deviant behavior is too much, right? We try our best in terms of, we have police in schools, and 2 schools actually, one in Mason Hall and in Signal Hill. And this initiative is working quite well. We have seen a reduction in the incidence of school violence, and it's a work in progress. Every day, every little step that we take is a step in the right direction.
Now, we spoke about having the police presence and peer pressure being some of the issues why our young people deviate to crime. But we want to go a bit to the family structure in terms of father absence, especially when it comes to young men. Can you elaborate a bit on that, of how that impacts our young people and how they decide to deviate and go into crime?
That's an interesting point. You know, the function of the parent. We have different functions. One is to provide for our children. And when you go to your job, you expect that your children would make the right decisions when they're at home, when they're at school, and when they return home. So it's not a matter of being absent. It's a matter of having the confidence that when you're not there, children would make the right decision.
So, talk to us about the minds of teenagers and how we might lead to them venturing into crime out of a sense of curiosity. You know, they say like when you're young, you feel invincible and these kinds of things. In your dealings with children involved in crime, how much of a factor do these things play in terms of them not being able to perceive properly the dangers of what they're doing, or just being very curious?
To be honest, children will be children. They do make mistakes. We hope that the mistakes that they make is not something that is punishable or illegal. And, you know, we want the involvement of everyone to shape the minds of the children. And apart from that, we have to allow children to be themselves, right? And once we set up positive environment for children, there are some that would be deviant, but the majority will follow, you know, the right path. And we're hoping that, you know, when we look at peer pressure, it must be peer pressure the other way around. Pressure to do the right thing, you know? So it's a work in progress. As I say, everything that we do is we want to improve on what we do. We want to improve on how we respond to children, because if we don't give children an opportunity to share their ideas or their views on something, we might be losing the battle, because they have views and they have ideas that are important. Although we would set the foundation of what we want to expect in the long term. You know, we want them to succeed in life. We want them to pass all the subjects. We want to get a good job. But it's a journey along the way and making the mistakes, but not making the mistakes more than once. Correcting the mistakes along the way. So everyone has a part to play. Children too have a part to play, and they must know this. You know, if we don't tell them what are the boundaries, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know where, what not to cross. You know. So I'm not sure. You know, this is an ongoing discussion that we could go on and you know, discuss this every day. But every day we discuss this, we must be able to say that we are making a step in the right direction.
Now, based on your observation, how many of teenage and youth involvement in crime is based on poverty and limited opportunities, based on your involvement with the TTPS and the amount of times that you probably would have to apprehend or even interject in some of these situations where teenagers and youth are involved?
We had instances where poverty was an issue, and as I said before, not being present contributed to criminal activity. As I said, we have a 12-year-old who is in primary school involved in crime. Yes, the system is there for us to, you know, to charge him and put him before the court. And what's the next step? What's the next step? How do we shape the mind of this young man for him to be a better person? Should we punish children for being involved in crime, or should we find a way to improve their conditions? I mean, it's something that needs everyone to be on board. You know, the police, the NGOs, the family, the school. We need everyone to be involved, to play their part. You know, but think about this. When my children leave from home to go to school, I expect that the school will do their part. When they leave from school, I expect that the maxi driver or the taxi driver will bring them straight from home. And when they're at home now, it's back my responsibility. So everyone needs to work together, you know?
So you're talking about a communal effort in molding the minds of our children and guiding our children along the right path. And you also stated that the TTPS has the legal remit to charge children for crimes. But sometimes that's not always the best route to take. And I know that the TTPS also does a bit of social intervention in communities at times. Just speak to us to what are some of the social interventions that the TTPS is undergoing so as to not have to bring the heavy hand of the law down on children at all times.
We do have the police youth club that is active throughout the division in different schools. And there are different organizations that we are involved with children. I recently met a guy, he's from Calder Hall, and it was a very good interaction to know that he's involved in football and trying to encourage children to have some extracurricular activities after school in football. Football will shape the minds of the children. They'll feel a sense, of togetherness, of being important, because not every child would be academically inclined. So, the police youth club, it is very active in Tobago, and we make whatever intervention that we can. Recent for Christmas going here, we had some toy drives. You all saw it. There were some other speakers present on the program that spoke to it, and the children, they were very welcoming to us.
Okay, so apart from the police youth clubs, do you all partner with social welfare and that kind of thing to see how best you all can work together with the families of these children to keep them on the right track?
To some extent we do, but I think that we have to be a little more consistent in how we do it. It shouldn't be when there's a problem. It should be there when there's development. So we do partner with different agencies.
And in your estimation, we see that children are very much technologically in tuned. How much do you think that media and violence in the culture of particularly music influences children to become involved in crime through that glorification of crime and violence in our media?
This is quite a good question, because just last night I was having a discussion with one of my colleagues, and he raised the issue about music. And children generally go towards the popular music. And you could see it reflects in how they speak, it reflects in how they dress, it reflects in how they carry about themselves in society. So if we could change the music, not change the music in general, if we could play music that is more positive, rather than music that would
the lyrical content.
So we have good artists here in Tobago. We have good music playing in Tobago. Not all the music would encourage children to to use those singers as role models. So we need to have some improvement in the music that we play, because we have to recognize that the social media plays a big part in influencing the minds of the children and all of us as a whole.
Earlier you mentioned that parents need to take a more active approach at observing their charges and their children. What are some of these signs that parents can look at if they see that their teen or their child is deviating towards a life of crime? Some of the early warning signs that they could pinpoint so they could get a hold on it, so it's more of a proactive approach rather than reactive approach.
Okay. If I'm to be totally honest with this, I would say, from my perspective, my opinion, not just as a police but as a parent too, you have to check your children's bag when they return from school. So if you see them with an extra pencil that doesn't belong to them, you have to find out where did that come from. Because if you allow one incident to remain, you don't question them about it, they will feel that it's right. You understand? So you have to check on your children, the bags, the attitude. Sometimes we might have children who are victims of bullying. They are normally very vibrant, and all of a sudden you see they're in a corner by themselves. You have to recognize what is the problem early, because you don't want it to lead to something that, you know, later down the road it could affect them psychologically. So there are different types of behavior. Sometimes children be if they are normally vibrant, they're silent in a corner. They come home with a pencil that is not theirs. They, you know, afraid to go to school. You visit the school, find out what is happening early, so that it will not lead to any school violence. It will not lead to children, you know, doing things to harm themselves or making decisions that they're not supposed to make generally. So we have to recognize these problems early and treat with it. We are there as an organization to assist in whatever way we can. You know, as I said earlier, it's all hands on deck. It's all hands on deck. We are there to help. There are organizations that have counselors. There are organizations that provide, you know, different remedial and developmental training that we could give to children.
No, the final question before we wrap up the interview, Inspector. I know last year the Tobago Division would have done a number of things, including there was I can't remember the name of it right now, but there was a football initiative to really target young children, and a number of other things to really get into the community and really try to disrupt that pipeline between troublemakers and children, and recruiting of children to do these criminal activities. From a pure tactical perspective, we've seen last year there was a great reduction in crime in Tobago, particularly murders. How has the TTPS also noticed from last year's tactics in reducing crime, there has been a slowing down of children moving from that pipeline into these groups of persons who engage in criminal activities?
Yes, so last year we had a reduction throughout, not just murders alone. We had a reduction in all different types of serious crimes, domestic violence offenses, traffic offenses. We had a general reduction. But as I said, one crime is too much for us to have. And we as an organization, we have been doing things to improve how we deliver our service to the public. We have engaged in partnership with the communities. That has led to a football match, as you said. I wasn't here for that, by the way.
Yes.
So I heard about it, and it had a positive impact on communities. But we have to realize that the communities, they are the persons that we depend on. They have to be our eyes and ears out there. They have to be the ones, you know, to know that when they give us information, we deal with the information in a confidential way. When we recognize there's a problem, we make an intervention into the community. Don't just wait for data to come to us. We go to them. And what that will do, that will increase how they look at us. It will improve the trust and the confidence that the public have in the police. It will improve the relationship. It will improve sharing of information just by taking a proactive measure into how we do things. Yes, there's a lot of communities that there's need for more community-based activities, and we will work towards it. We have to make small steps, but we also have to recognize what is the intention, what it is we hope to achieve at the end of the year when we review our statistics. So we have small goals, we have medium goals, and we have long-term goals. So it's a step in the right direction. Every little step we take is a step to achieve the objectives that we want to at the end of the year. And it's not just at the end of the year, it's for every year.
All right, we want to thank you very much, Mr. Andy Mohammed, Acting Inspector with the CID of the TTPS, talking to us, giving us the crime updates, as well as talking to us about teenagers and crime. Viewers, we have to go for a short break, and when we return, we continue our programming. So do us a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
You Come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yes, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about them. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla? I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. And we have on the line with us now Miss Nisha Agostini, who's a producer, and she's going to be talking to us about Carnival Film Screening 2026. Good morning and welcome, Miss Agostini.
Thank you for having me. Hello?
Good morning, Miss Agostini.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? Hello, good morning.
We seem to be having some technical difficulties with Miss Agostini on the line there. Our team will try to work it out and get back to us. But in the meantime, on Vanessa, Carnival, we're talking about Carnival Film Screening 2026. I mean, it's really interesting that there's this merging of the creative arts. A lot of persons are looking to merge these creative arts. The Carnival, all the arts that come out of the Carnival and merge it with film to really bring together all those elements of creativity into one season. What are your thoughts on something like that?
I think it's actually a great initiative, especially when we introduce it to our young people. I'm seeing Miss Agostini's back on the line. Good morning. Good morning to you, Miss Agostini.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, we seem to still be having a bit of technical difficulties.
Miss Agostini, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me? I'm hearing you. Hello, good morning.
All right, so we'll try to get Miss Agostini back, try to work out those technical difficulties, but in the meantime, we could continue our conversation with us in terms of...
Yes, it's very good when we can incorporate our culture with our young people, because we always talk about our culture is dying or we don't want our culture to die. But when we incorporate the mix of the culture and the arts in the form of a film, and you have our young people sit and be able to interact with the culture, not just on a interactive way, but to see the history and how it came from long ago to now. And it's also where innovation spurts, where young people will look at these films and say, maybe I could get into mass making, maybe I could get into filmmaking, maybe I could go and try to get some of the inspiration from some of the people who are currently involved, and look at how I could turn this into my own spin or a modern view of what my culture and traditions here in Tobago are like.
And as somebody who's very much into film myself, it really is pleasing to see a lot of these developments in bringing films, film festivals, and allowing small creators, young creators as well, to bring out their short films and really delve into the industry. I think it bodes well for us. I know they recently had a screening at the Mason Hall Secondary School with 4 films, I believe it was, as well as they had the drama coordinator at the Division of Education speaking with the children who are involved in the VAPA programs, the VAPA subjects, in the Mason Hall Secondary School. So that exposure, that level of exposure to the arts and the development that we see slowly taking in the film industry in Tobago is very warm, and it's very warming to my heart, because I'm an actor and I love acting on film and on stage, so I love to see when these things happen.
And not only that, Akinlabi, I am also very much in love with my culture here in the island of Tobago. Especially, I think it was in 2024, I got the opportunity to learn how to walk on stilts in San Fernando with some of those names, Jamali Bisnat and yes, they are very much into the Moko Jambi, and they are very much known for these things. And being able to be a part of your culture in that way gives you a sense of pride.
Yeah, I think one of the things that persons don't realize about Carnival in itself is that people really believe that Carnival is just about fetes, because in this modern contemporary time, fetes have taken to the forefront, but there's a lot of rich culture in Carnival that you can participate in. When you lean on the more traditional side of things, it's something very rich and something that you can be very, very proud of as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. So we're going to try once again for Miss Agostini. Good morning and welcome, Miss Agostini. Miss Agostini, are you there? All right, we seem to not be getting Miss Agostini this morning, so maybe we could try again for another time. So viewers, we're going to take a short break and then we're going to come back and see if we can sort out the technical issues with Miss Agostini. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And we finally have on the line Miss Nisha Agostini. She's here to talk about Carnival Film Screening 2026. Good morning and welcome, Miss Agostini.
Yes, good morning and thank you for having me this morning. And good morning, Tobago. I'm here to talk about Carnival Film Screening 2026. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have 3 events slated. Out of last year's Carnival film screenings, which was the 2nd year, so this year would be the 3rd year that we're holding Carnival film screenings at the Scarborough Library. I met Mr. Kenrick Noel, a VAPA teacher at Mason Hall, and he loved the films, he loved everything, and he asked if I can actually have a special screening at Mason Hall Secondary. Of course, we were both excited about it and jumped at the idea, so we decided to have something just before Carnival. So I screened the 4 short films from the youth edition, which includes Henderson Norrie's Carnival Blues, Matthew Innes Carrying Our Culture, Shari Petit's Fantastic Friday and Kevin Adams' No Suka, No Life. Those are the 4 short films that I've had in the youth edition for the past 2 years at the Scarborough Library, and I screened that to his VAPA students. And I wanted to add another element to it. So Daniel from the multicultural unit came on board, Daniel Batiste, and said he would kind of give a little presentation to the students of performing arts and presence, etc. So that was an exciting element in addition to just simply the screenings. Carnival film screenings really try to connect with local filmmakers or filmmakers with content on carnival and festival culture. And the aim is to promote Trinidad and Tobago and Caribbean culture by screening these films at carnivals globally. You know, as you know that Creole Carnival kind of started in Trinidad and Tobago, and it spread throughout the world. So there's obviously Carnival in Notting Hill, which is where Carnival film screenings had its launch 2 years ago. There's the Notting Hill Carnival, there's Caribana in Canada, there's the Brooklyn Carnival, there's Miami Carnival, the Florida Carnival, just to name a few carnivals, you know, out there in the diaspora, obviously separate to all of the Caribbean carnivals. So Carnival film screenings really want to pull films on carnival and festival culture and screen this globally to try to focus on, you know, our beautiful Caribbean culture and history.
Now, how do you balance entertainment with the cultural edification within these films? Because I know young people, they usually tend to have a very short attention span. How is it that you curate your films to ensure you capture the attention and you get across to the young people what it is you want to get out of these film screenings?
Well, for the youth edition, and I've really focused on Tobago with the youth edition because I've gotten the support of the Division of Education to engage the schools, and the schools have come on board and supported this event. So I'd like to thank all the schools, which, you know, I think at least 6 schools have supported the event at the library, in addition to police youth clubs at special needs schools, etc. Basically, I found a bunch of local filmmakers with content on Carnival, like I said, and I thought that these 4 films would really speak to young people because of the content. Carnival's Luz Kenderson Nori, who's from Paraman, he basically filmed his little nephew performing as a traditional Blue Devil, Carrying Our Culture by Matthew Innes. He looks at local children's mask designers, Rosalind Gabriel and Ronnie McIntosh, and they talk about the designs necessary or endemic in Kiddies Carnival and the creativity in it. Fantastic Friday, Shari Petit's film. It's a bunch of teenagers basically out on a night on the town carnival night and all the experiences that they have. And No Suka, No Life, Kevin Adams. It's about a young woman who is trying to get into the soca world. Kevin's film, ironically, is a short film, which I'm trying to bring the longer feature-length version, which he used to create a feature-length film starring Terry Lyons. And basically, it's a similar film, but No Suka, No Life is the short film which he created to try to raise funds for the feature film. So I'm really pleased to say that, you know, that the feature film Queen of Soca was recently released, and we're trying to get it across to Tobago to screen, you know, because it was screened extensively in Trinidad last year and over this carnival season.
No,
the films that were curated, like I thought, really spoke to young people, and that's why I kind of created the youth edition. Everything came together because of the themes in the films selected.
Okay, so what has been the feedback like in Tobago since the screenings?
I think the young people enjoy it. You know, I have some videos and stuff of them, like, you know, they laugh, it resonates with them, you know what I mean? And what I really want to do is to try and show young people that, you know, we have local content available, you know, to look at, you know, videos, films, you know, that teach and tell about our culture, stories told from our people, and hopefully try to appeal to a few of the creative art students to try and tell their own stories themselves, because Tobago has so many stories, not just carnival stories, but all kinds of stories to tell. And to think of film and the visual arts as a medium to express themselves and local culture here in Tobago. So I hope that's something that also resonates with the students, that they can also tell stories about Tobago, to, develop and tell Tobago stories. So, it lasts, so these stories are, passed down through generations and preserved.
Now tell us a bit about your plans for October.
I want to discuss with the teachers more. I'm looking for new content basically, because I think this would be the third year, like I said, and I want to talk with the teachers and get feedback from them if they want to see this same youth edition or if I should try and search for new stories. And I'm always looking to expand, the content of Carnival film screenings. So for this year, I would like to I would like to have another event at the Scarborough Library. And expand that event, look for new content, maybe screen this youth edition again, and grow the event essentially. With the feedback from the teachers and the schools that take part.
All right, we want to thank you very much, Ms. Nisha Agostini, for coming in and speaking with us about the Carnival's film screenings 2026. And we hope that you have a lot of success in all your future endeavors and that these screenings grow from time to time and it can turn into a Carnival Film Festival in the future.
I look forward to that. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. Viewers, that was Ms. Nisha Agostini, producer, talking to us about Carnival Film Screenings 2026. And unfortunately, we have come to the end of our programming here at the Tobago Updates morning show. But Tobago Updates programming continues. Yes, we have GMT up next with Chanel Felix. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. GMT is up next.
committed to excellence. We chart a course, we forge ahead, achieving our goals. We set a standard at Scarasec. We're committed to excellence.
Our 65-year legacy of success is built upon the firm foundation laid by our visionary leaders and educators. We honor the legacies of past principals, past vice principals, and past and present members of staff and our stakeholders. Let us also continue to champion the holistic development of our students, a mission that remains enshrined in our vision statement. To be the premier institution providing learning experiences that produce healthy, critical thinkers and lifelong learners ready for a changing global environment.
65 years is a long, long time. 65 years of nation building. I say nation building because every child entering the corridors of Scarborough Secondary, they are empowered to go out and build, be a part of nation building. So I want to congratulate you on this special occasion.
65 years ago,
A seed was planted, and today we stand in this sanctuary not just to look back at history, but to declare a future. Our theme is We Rise Again, and church, that is not just a slogan, it's a mandate. We are reaching into the stratosphere of excellence. To our students, the stratosphere is high. It is vast, and is exactly where you belong.
Your theme this morning, We Rise Again, speaks powerfully to the story of this school. It gives us a sober reminder that through change, challenge, and transition, Scarborough Secondary School has continued to rise and renewed in vision and strengthened in resolve. Anchored by its enduring motto, committed to excellence, this institution has remained steadfast in its pursuit of high standards, strong character, and purposeful education.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And guys, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. East Tobago commuters take note. A brand new, first of its kind in Tobago, privately funded transit lounge will be officially opened today at 4 p.m. on Gardenside Street for public use. Built by Touch Tobago Live, the facility offers air conditioning, free Wi-Fi, and digital schedules for those heading to Charlottesville, Speyside, Bloody Bay, Castara, and other North Tobago destinations. The THA has promised rigorous upkeep and security for this new transit lounge. Congratulations are pouring in for Tobago's Steel Pan fraternity following a stellar Panorama 2026. The Executive Council has kept its promise for the last year and has rewarded the legendary arrangers Duvon Stewart, Kirsch Ramsey and O.J. Richards with land grants for their contributions. Meanwhile, Uptown Fascinators began moving into their new $1.5 million privately funded home in Smithfield yesterday. Local Tobago companies are now being challenged to step up and sponsor Indigenous steel band orchestra. And finally, the cargo vessel Blue Wave Harmony enters full commercial service on March 1st. The Chief Secretary apologized for recent communication gaps and acknowledged that the public's patience is wearing thin. The vessel has been licensed for 1 year, which will give enough time for a permanent sea bridge solution to be found for the vessel's contract ending in January 2027. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, we take a quick break right here and we'll be back with much more conversations after this. See you soon.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Good morning, Tobago, right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we jump straight ahead into our conversations, and we are having the privilege of chatting virtually this morning with the Member of Parliament for Tobago East, Mr. David Thomas. This morning we'll be touching on a number of bread and butter issues, a number of things that have been affecting Tobago, Tobagonians globally, and to have that conversation with me this morning again, Mr. Thomas, good morning.
Good morning, Tobago. Thanks for having me.
Excellent.
And let me
It's a
wish
pleasure to
everybody
have
a
you this morning. Now, there are a
successful day.
number of issues that, have been plaguing the island in recent time. One of those on the top of the agenda has been the issue of the cargo vessel and how it has been impacting business on the island, due to the fact that a number of businesses rely on that inter-island transportation to get their supplies from Trinidad. We heard from the Chief Secretary on Sunday, talking about the solutions that have been put in place and that relief should come by March 1st. Can you tell us about some of those conversations that have been happening in the background and how you have been treating with your constituents on this issue?
Well, firstly, let me apologize to all of Tobago for the experience that we are all having at this time. I do not wish that any Tobagonian be exposed to any harsh conditions or any condition which lead us to think that we are being deprived of a proper standard of living. Having said that, I have been in contact with all of or most of the management of the port, both in Trinidad and Tobago, over the last couple of days. And some of the situations that occurred in this space is just rather unfortunate. And I know that all hands are on deck to regularize the situation in the shortest possible time. And we have been given some guarantees. So I appeal to Tobagonians, do not feel that this is a state of neglect. Do not feel that we do not care. I do not feel that we are not working in your best interest. However, based on a few variables, there are things that ought to be done. One of them is the meeting the international standards where the acceptance of the vessel is concerned. That is a few days off, and we are given a guarantee that we would be in full operations come the 1st of March. Out of an abundance of caution, anything that falls along the lines of guaranteeing safety and delivery, I am one who always advocates for that. And I think that in the best interest of all, we're just appealing to Tobagonians. So bear with us a few more days. We're doing everything in our power to ensure that Tobagonians receive what they justly deserve.
Right. And what do you say to the persons who are calling for greater communication, particularly from the MP for Tobago East and West, with their parliamentary colleagues as it pertains to this particular issue? We've heard the Chief Secretary step up and talk about it, but persons are indicating the need for greater conversation and communication from the representatives.
Well, I will not argue with a situation like that, but I can say I was present at a joint select committee meeting which had to do with dealing with all the issues of the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, and having met with all the stakeholders, the ministry, the port officials, and the parliamentary team, we massaged all the issues and we were given particular guarantees. I must say the blue wave, the occurrence of the blue wave, is not something that anybody anticipated. However, it has been a situation that occurred and is a situation that we must deal with in the best interest of Tobagonians. So I am just appealing to all the stakeholders. I know this would be a challenge. However, do not believe that we are sitting idly by and not making every effort to make sure that things return to normalcy. We are in fact doing that, and based on what is anticipated, based on what is being looked forward to, and based on the fact that no stone would be left unturned in terms of securing the future, the interests, and the protection of the Tobagonian, we are making every effort on your behalf, and we might have been lacking in terms of keeping in close communication with you, but it didn't mean that we were not working in your best interests. So now that we have some guarantees and now that we have a vision as to where we are going, we just ask that you be a little patient, and we expect that you will be given your full service come the 1st of March.
Understood. And what do you say to persons who say, what is different this time around? Under a PNM-led central government administration, when this happened before, there was a number of protests, and even from the chief secretary when he was a part of the PDP at the time, along with Watson Dew. So what do you say to persons within the public who are saying, what is different this time? Why shouldn't the public have the same reaction?
All right, well, the thing is, I will not ever try to say to anybody, you should react this way or the other way, because I am aware that things can affect people differently. And I'm aware that there is a certain expectation from those who govern to the people of Tobago. And if things happen that you are dissatisfied with, I will never put myself in a position to tell you that you should not express yourself. What I do know is that we have all the opportunities now to deliver to the people. I know we have had 2 sets. We have had our blueprint in Tobago, and we have had the revitalization plan for the holistic development of Trinidad and Tobago. And I know that that will bring a lot of positivity to the space. And therefore, over the last 10 months, we will actually setting up structures that will cause us to deliver in a holistic way. So just be a little patient and look forward to delivery. Because I got into the politics not because I was dissatisfied with anybody, but I just thought that we deserve more, we deserve better. And my tenure in office will ensure that Tobago gets what Tobago deserves, because that is the only reason why I'm out there, making sure that I advocate, making sure that I become part of the decision-making process, and making sure that I speak not just for myself or for my constituency, but I speak for all of Tobago.
Understood. Recently, the Prime Minister extended her invitation to the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting to the Chief Secretary. What does that say for Tobago moving forward?
Well, it puts Tobago in a space to be represented. It puts Tobago in a space to be part of the decision-making process, because as V.S. Naipaul would have said in his book, Tobagonians are the only people of the Caribbean who does not have a say in their destiny. And I think this offers the opportunity. It shows an intent to govern holistically and to make Tobago a part of the decision-making process nationally. And therefore, I look forward to this inclusive approach to bear fruit and to put Tobago in a more prominent position as we go forward.
Understood. And even as it pertains to that conversation about Tobago autonomy, during the campaign, the Chief Secretary indicated that one of his top priority items has to do with that Tobago autonomy bill and getting the conversation back on top of or at the front of persons' minds and back in the Parliament. Tell us a bit about some of the conversations that are happening and the movement towards that. We know that there has been that division of legal affairs developed here in the THA, but tell us a bit from your end, what are some of the conversations and the movement that's happening towards that? You seem to have had a lag in communication there with our connection with the MP for Tobago East, Mr. David Thomas. This would be a good time for us to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
A brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starts.
welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Now this morning we've been having a number of one conversation particularly with the MP for Tobago East as it pertains to a number of issues surrounding Tobagonians, and one of those issues we've dealt with this morning has to do with the cargo vessel. Before we ended off our conversation, took a break on our conversation earlier, we were talking a bit about Tobago autonomy. The Chief Secretary indicated that has to be one of the key priority items for him, and there has been indications that this CARICOM visit with the Prime Minister has a lot to do with looking at what policies or frameworks operate well within the region in other parts of the Caribbean, particularly in St. Kitts and Nevis. Can you tell us from your end, Mr. Thomas, some of the things that has been happening in the background that you've been using? I've heard that Mr. Thomas has disconnected, but we will be chatting a bit about some of the work that he has been doing from the parliamentary level to ensure that conversation continues to stay on the cards. What is happening as it pertains to the Tobago MPs for Tobago East and West? What is the work that has been happening with them and their colleagues to ensure that this Tobago autonomy issue stays a priority? Now, if you guys have been following along, we know that during that political tension between the United States and Venezuela, that there has been a number of comments that were made by the Prime Minister that for many persons could be deemed as a bit disparaging, in that she would have indicated that CARICOM for a long time has not been serving its purpose, and neither had it been serving Trinidad and Tobago. And so going to this CARICOM heads of government meeting along with the Chief Secretary, a number of persons are sitting by and trying to predict what kind of tone Trinidad and Tobago would be bringing to this particular CARICOM heads of government meeting. And we have heard from a number of persons within the political sector, even from former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Rambachan, and he would have indicated that the Prime Minister should go into this meeting not combative, but in the tone of unity. And former Minister Rambachan has indicated that St. Kitts and Nevis's visit should not be one that should be hinged on winning an argument or capturing headlines, but to lead the region and to bridge those gaps. Mr. Thomas, good morning and welcome back. We seem to have a bit of a connectivity issue there. But for you, our viewers looking on and listening, what type of tone do you think Trinidad and Tobago should enter into this CARICOM heads of government meeting with? Do you think that apologies should be made for some of the comments that were made earlier as it pertains to the Venezuela and America tensions? Do you think that our Prime Minister needs to go into that meeting and really stand her ground as it pertains to CARICOM not necessarily functioning in the way that it ought to function in, and encouraging the countries to step their game up and not backpedaling on some of the comments that she would have made? Welcome back, Mr. Thomas. We seem to be having some connectivity issues there with his video. We hope to be able to have that rectified soon and continue our conversation. But we do hope to hear from the Chief Secretary on, some of the connections that are made as it pertains to Tobago moving forward and looking at frameworks that work well within the region and us being able to implement a number of those things into our thrust towards Tobago autonomy and self-governance. Ladies and gentlemen, we take a quick break right here and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Hey, as you come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about them. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla? I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure our bellies. You ever play a bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning we open our phone lines and ask you to add your comments to this Sea Bridge conversation. We are asking, do you think the Chief Secretary and this Tobago House of Assembly administration in conjunction with the central government deserves grace for the situation that's happening? The Chief Secretary apologized during his address yesterday, indicating that it is understandable that persons' patience will and should run thin based on the amount of time that Tobagonians have been waiting for this cargo vessel issue to be rectified. Do you think that grace should be given? Specifically, persons are referencing previous conversations or previous situations that took place that caused serious upheaval in Tobago when this situation occurred previously, with the current Chief Secretary even engaging in protest while he was a part of the Progressive Democratic Patriots. And so persons are asking whether or not the same response should be given by Tobagonians, or whether or not Tobagonians should be giving grace to this administration. We want you to know that our phone lines are open and you can call us at 284-6597. So again, that is 284-6597. Give us a call and give us your opinion on the matter. Another conversation that we're having this morning has to do with the invitation that has been extended to the Chief Secretary to attend the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting that will be taking place very soon in St. Kitts and Nevis. He has been able to accompany will be able to accompany the Prime Minister as the first ever Chief Secretary to attend one of the Heads of Government meetings. And so we want to hear from you. What type of tone do you think that our team should go into that meeting with? And do you think that the Chief Secretary will unduly be dragged into tensions that may be a bit high at those meetings simply because of some of the comments that were made by the Prime Minister? And how do you think they should neutralize that type of possible atmosphere that they may be walking into representing the country, Trinidad and Tobago? We have heard from former ministers of foreign affairs, that Trinidad and Tobago should really enter those conversations, looking to bridge the gap between different leaders and not going into those meetings in fight or flight mode. And so that's what we're talking about this morning, and our phone lines are open and we're expecting you to call us this morning and give your comments on any one of these topics that you want to be a part of this morning. Again, we're talking about the conversation as it pertains to the cargo vessel that the Chief Secretary indicated by March 1st, the Blue Wave Harmony should be back or actually be fully commissioned into service. And so we hope that that timeline is representative of what actually happens, and that would be happening on March 1st. So we look forward to that, and we'll be here at Tobago Updates to bring you all those updates. Now, if you have been paying attention recently, just a few days ago, the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley made some comments on Facebook indicating that this situation under this Tobago THA administration is an indication as to why 15-0 does not work in the favor of the Tobago public. And so he indicated that as a farmer here in Tobago, he has experienced the brunt of the blowback of this cargo vessel situation, in that he has not been able to adequately provide feed for his animals. And he went on to say that Tobago does not have a feed mill, and that this is something that should have been prioritized by this administration. And we want to hear from you this morning. Have your businesses been affected, or are you aware of businesses that have been affected by this cargo vessel situation between Trinidad and Tobago? And even as the government moves towards getting a more permanent solution, we have heard a number of things from persons, but what is the long-term sustainable solution to Tobago being able to stand on its own, even as we move towards that Tobago, or that thrust towards Tobago autonomy? In the press conference yesterday, we heard the Chief Secretary mention that he has commissioned a team at the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy, led by Dr. Selvon Hazel, to look at a practical solution for Tobago and a situation where it's possible for Tobago to have at least 3 months of food supply on the island, and that may be able to carry some level of sustainable food supply here for Tobagonians. He indicated that at any given time, there should be at least 3 months of food stored here on the island, whether it be because of a cargo vessel situation that similar to what we're facing now, or whether it's because of a natural disaster. Tobago should have some level of sustainability. And we have a caller on the line with us this morning. Caller, good morning.
I'm trying to get on the show, please.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. You're live on Tobago Updates.
Yes, I try to get on the show.
You are live on the show at the moment.
Okay.
And this morning, good morning. This morning we are talking about the cargo vessel situation between the two islands. Do you have any comments on this situation?
Yes.
Unfortunately, we lost that caller. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we are talking about two main topics. The Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, the first ever to be invited to a Head of Government, CARICOM Heads of Government meeting that's happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we're also talking about the cargo vessel woes that are happening here in Trinidad and Tobago. That means that we want to hear from you, and that's why our phone lines are open this morning, so you can call us at 284-6597. That is 284-6597. And so we want to hear from you this morning. Before we do that, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more conversations after this. So see you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49SWIFT 4979438.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, ladies and gentlemen. We are asking you to join our conversations this morning, and so we have been talking about this cargo vessel situation and the conversation that's happening surrounding that, the press conference that took place yesterday by the Chief Secretary, and his indications that by March 1st, the Blue Wave Harmony should become fully operational between the islands. And we heard a number of comments throughout the weekend about persons who have felt the brunt of the impact of the lack of a cargo vessel, or that strict, consistent movement between the islands for the transporters, truckers that work to ensure that businesses in Tobago stay alive. And so what do you perceive to be some of the long-term solutions? We heard the Chief Secretary saying we should have 3 months supply of food on the island, but what do you think are some of the other solutions? I heard persons talking about the fact that Tobago needs to be a greater producer compared to being a greater consumer. But what does that look like? There's the project that's happening, that is carried to happen at the Friendship Estate, that agro-farm project. Would that be a part of enhancing Tobago food security in the long run? What are some of the short-term solutions that can be utilized for persons not only in food production, but as it pertains to the construction sector, persons that really depend on their goods to come from Trinidad? I've had a conversation recently with someone who indicated that for a number of businesses, we don't utilize the air bridge for cargo as much as we utilize the sea bridge. Is it a situation where businesses have to now pivot and Caribbean Airlines has to move towards a greater utilization of that cargo movement between Trinidad and Tobago, having flights that are strictly designated towards bringing cargo to and from Trinidad and Tobago? We had the conversation as it pertains to living in places or first world countries where you make an order online and you receive your package the next day and sometimes even same day. But yet between Trinidad and Tobago, if you do make an order to a business in Trinidad, usually you wait a minimum of about 3 days to receive your package. Sometimes 2 possibly, depending on when your package is shipped out. But when can we move to a situation where we can start receiving same day delivery from Trinidad? When we look at the number of flights that traverse between the islands, is it possible that persons should be able to go to Piaco, go to the cargo desk, drop off a package, and that package be delivered to Tobago, by latest the midnight or the last flight to Tobago? And if these things are already in place, why are they not being better communicated to persons, to businesses, on easier ways of doing business between our islands? Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. Now we see that even as Tobago moves towards a thrust for greater autonomy, there are so many gaps that have to be filled before Tobago can say to itself that it is truly autonomous. And so as we move towards greater autonomy, we have to also move towards greater structures in place to sustain Tobago's economy. Looking at ways to improve our food security, improve the construction sector, and improve our business sectors on the island. And so we even heard from the Chief Secretary that there will be an assessment of the impact that this or these cargo delays have had on businesses, and we would hear from that group later on. Hopefully we get to find out what type of compensations can be put in place, whether it be financial or whether it be through whatever means of support through the provision of resources. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to thank you for being a part of this morning's conversation, and we want to apologize for that technical difficulty that we faced earlier in connecting with the MP for Tobago East. We really hoped to have been able to ask a number of these key questions as it pertains to some of the long-term strategies that has been highlighted for that Tobago pathway toward development, and what are some of the things that he has been doing and some of the work that he's been doing with his constituents to push towards that place where Tobago can truly be more sufficient, self-sufficient and sustainable. Again, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's conversations. We want to thank you for your likes, your shares and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the number one broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and it's always a pleasure to be here sitting with you, and I really do hope that you have an excellent day.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starter.